So this week we meet up with fellow YouTuber and car enthusiast Adele over at Offbeat Garage and pick up some parts. And then we also tear down the motor and get it ready to be rebuilt. So real quick, I want to say the reason why the videos have been lacking lately is because in the months of June and July, my whole family has birthdays and events and so that, and I just switched jobs and stuff, so my schedule's been super hectic and I've had no time to film. So I'm very sorry about that, but this week we're starting off with the motor. We're getting into that. And what's great about the motor is since it's just in my garage, I could just do it every single night after work or whatever. You know, I don't have to wait for sunlight. I could just do it whenever. So that's nice. So let's get into the parts that I picked up from Adele. All right, so we just packed up in LA and we're heading out to meet up with Adele. He runs the YouTube channel Offbeat Garage. We're gonna go meet up with him and pick up some car parts that I need for the Trill 240 and some that I need for the red 240 as well. So we're on our way to go meet up with him right now. All right, man. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Offbeat stickers, we're good.
There you go.
Have a good day, man.
Okay, all right. See you. Drive safe.
Firstly, and most importantly, is this Mishimoto radiator. It's awesome because, well, it was repaired, he said. So it was once not working, but now it's repaired. And that's awesome because I needed a radiator for an SR or dual red cam. And this one's a nice name brand. It's awesome. And I got it super cheap. So that's really cool. Next up, this is not going to be in frame at all, but we got this awesome exhaust. It's not crazy or anything. It's nothing awesome. No name brand or anything. But it's an exhaust. And it looks like it's 3 inches, which is good. I needed a bigger exhaust for the turbo motor because that's just how life works. So it's cool. It has some really spotty welds on it, better than anything I can do. But I definitely want to go through and try to clean it up a bit and repaint it and just make it look a little bit cleaner. So we'll be doing that to this in later episodes. Next up, I got a gas tank for an S13, which I'm not going to show because it's just a gas tank. There's nothing special. It's not a fuel cell or anything like that. However, it's not for this car. It's not for Trill. It's going to be for my next series where I build up the red drift car. But it was a really good deal, so I wanted to get it while I could because, believe it or not, those are kind of hard to come by pretty cheap. So I got that, and then the last thing I will show you right now.
Back from the dead.
So I know right now a lot of you guys are probably really upset and hating because I'm swapping my car over to Shark Nose. Because I know Pig Nose has a lot of fans now, it's popular again, and that's awesome. However, when I fell in love with 240s, I fell in love with like the 94-ish, 93, whatever. I fell in love with the Shark Nose 240, okay? I didn't know about the motors, so it had nothing to do with the dual cam, single cam. It had nothing to do with that at all. I just knew that I liked the clean look of the Shark Nose much more than the Pig Nose. And when I wanted to build up this 240, I've always wanted to do a Shark Nose conversion to it. There are added benefits. The ventilation on the bottom is so much better, so I'm going to get a lot more airflow to my radiator, intercooler, oil cooler, all that good stuff. So that's the other reason why. And so for those of you that don't know, the fenders are not the same. But instead of buying new fenders, because I don't want to do that, I'm going to try to modify my fenders to work with the Shark Nose. So we'll be doing that in a later episode too. Okay, so let's get started on this engine. I don't know how far I'm going to get today, but we'll at least get it cleaned up and get some parts off of it. Okay, so to get prepared for this engine rebuild, the first thing I had to do is replace the valve cover gasket. And I did that just so no water could leak in there by accident when I'm spraying it down. With that all tightened up, it was time to move around the motor and just remove any little bits and pieces that didn't need to be attached. I removed just about everything, including motor mounts, because all those small parts I could clean off the motor.
Oh, we're back from the dead.
Are you ready? Let's go. Back from
Now what you see me doing here is actually putting all the bolts back where they originally came from. This is by far the most effective method to not lose bolts and forget where they go. Because even when I do the Ziploc bag method, I still end up forgetting which spot they actually went in. Now it's time to just push out the motor and get it cleaned up. I start by spraying it off with some gunk degreaser. This is just normal strength. They do have a heavy duty as well. This product works pretty good. I did have to do 2 coats of it, but it got the motor pretty clean. However, it's not super clean, so I will be doing a video where I go in and I super clean the motor before I put it all back in the car. This was mainly just so I didn't get grease all over the place while I was trying to rebuild it.
From the dead.
Now after you let that sit for 15 minutes, rinse it off, and then like I said, I had to repeat this, and you may have to too if you're doing this at home. But you could just repeat it as many times until the engine's clean. Now that the engine's clean, it's time to start tearing it down. So what you see me doing right here is trying to get the timing to line up properly, which I was never able to actually do. And since I'm rebuilding the whole thing, I was like, it's not even that important, I'm sure. But who knows, I could be wrong, and one of you guys can correct me down below. Now I'm removing the tensioner, which is easy, just 2 bolts, and then you just pop it out. This is so much better than the KA24E method. Next up, it's time to remove the timing chain. I think it's like placement something. I don't know. I don't know my motor parts. I'm just rebuilding it. Timing chain sensor. That's what it is. Now I'm removing the chain guard or guide or whatever that thing is. I know I'm very technical in my commentary. I hope you enjoy. So I bought this impact wrench specifically for this job. It's to break loose the crank pulley without misplacing the timing. But since the timing's already jacked and the impact gun sucks, thanks Harbor Freight, I just jammed a screwdriver into the cam gear and just broke it loose with a torque wrench. Not the most professional method, I know, but you know what? Got the job done. I had to use that same method on both of the cam bolts. So this is the part that gets a little bit confusing. You have to remove these cam guards or cam brackets in a very specific pattern. You have to loosen up the bolts. It's really not that confusing of a pattern once you start doing it, but I didn't know that. But luckily the forum I was reading let me know how I had to do it, so I was able to get that done pretty fast, and then I just took out the cams. And then right here you see me removing the outer head bolts, like the little ones, not like the real head bolts, but like the ones that just connect it to... I don't know what it does, but yeah. You see me removing those. Alright, so I'm missing a few more tools, and I really don't feel like driving back into town today. So it looks like this is where we're going to call it on the motor. I'm at the point now where all I got to do is get the head bolts, but I'm missing my 10mm Allen socket. So I got to go pick some of those up. A couple, because the forum I'm reading said, like, you're going to strip some. So I'm going to go pick up a couple of those for next weekend. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up so far. I did loosen up some of the bolts, the ones that hold the cam brackets. I loosened them up in the wrong order for like the first like 4, but then I don't think that messed anything up. So I got all my stuff labeled and put aside nicely on my workbench to where all the parts are easy to grab. So I'm really hoping I don't lose anything. But for now, I'm going to hop over and get the new bumper situated.
Okay, so the bumper that I got off of Adele did not have the metal brackets in it that it needs to get mounted, and it's also what holds it kind of stable so it's not super floppy and loose. So what I'm doing here is just removing them from my old pig nose bumper and putting them on the shark nose. It fit pretty well, not perfect, but I think with a little bit more adjustments I could get it to fit perfect.
Alright, so I got the new bumper on with all of the metal brackets. Fitment's not great, but I could definitely fix it and make it look a little bit better. But I think this is going to look sick when it's all said and done. I really like it a lot. So, pretty stoked on that. Alright guys, so that is where we're wrapping up for today. I just got to remove the head bolts, remove the head, get the head resurfaced, and then rebuild the whole bottom end. So that will all be done hopefully next week. I'm going to see if I can get one of my buddies who's more experienced with motor rebuilds, like my buddy Richard from the episode where I pulled out the motor. So Richard, if you're seeing this before I talk to you, hit me up, man. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can get somebody over here to help me out just so we can try to knock it out in one day or at least as soon as possible. With that being said, oh, and the only reason why I stopped is because I didn't have a 10mm Allen key, and it's just like 30 minutes to the local tool store, and I'm just not trying to drive that again because I've already drove it twice today to get the 24mm socket, which originally I bought a 23mm socket. Long story, just not doing it today. So I did do the bumper. The bumper looks sick. Thank you again to Adele. He hooked me up. I got all those parts for 130 bucks. They were originally, his original asking price was only 150 for all those parts, but he hooked me up with a discount since I bought a lot of parts all at once. So really cool guy, awesome guy. But yeah, we got the bumper on, and in a future episode we are going to do a garden edging lip, because a lot of people told me to do that when I did my easy lip video, and Mighty Car Mods has now done it, so I might as well do it. And plus I saw one online that looks sick, and that is one way that I don't have to replace my fenders if I just make that piece myself. So, and the bumper's already damaged on the bottom and stuff, so I'm not even worried about drilling into it. So we'll be doing that in a future episode too. But I think that's it. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I've hit 1,000 subscribers, or got an extra 1,000 subscribers last month. Like, that is nuts. You guys are awesome, and I'm sorry because I feel like I haven't been making as much progress as I'd like. But that all changes because now June and July are over with, and we are going back to work, and we're gonna knock this car out because I want it done. That being said, Instagram, #IlToTrill. Show me what you guys are working on. Not only that, my website will soon have a forum where you guys can share your projects, and if I have a question, I can go to you guys on there. Any of my subscribers that comment in all my videos, I will message you, and if you guys want to be an admin, I'm going to make you guys an admin. I know who you are. I see you guys in every video, so just to say thanks, I will make you guys an admin. I think that is that. So, quick disclaimer, Hawk Performance did not pay me to put that up or wear their merch, but if any companies want to send me their like banners and stuff, I just love shop banners. I think it makes it look way more professional, and you can just send me your shop banner and I'll hang it up because I think it looks sick. So that's that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm out.
We're back from the dead. Back from the dead. Back from the dead.
Back when I used to play racing games, like I would have a Shark Nose 240 and it would just be slammed to the ground with no body kits. It would have underglow lights because, I mean, that's me.